What's happening, everyone? Along with Anthony Morrow, I am Colby Daniels. It's another week. The Thunder are 14-1. Before we jump into all things OKC basketball, how are you, my dude?
I'm doing well, bro. Can't complain, man. Living the dream, or whatever you want to call it. Everybody tell me. So good, man. Just working on everything,
What's
getting up.
new? What's new in the last week?
My son started, my oldest son, seventh grade, started middle school basketball. And he's playing well. It's real solid right now, So I'm excited for him every Tuesday and Thursday, man, so that's been good. Actually took him to the OKC game when they came here in Charlotte, and we enjoyed it, man. Not the game. The game looked like what we knew it was going to turn up. It had Melo and Brandon Miller, so I was like, we know what it's going to be. We're just going to enjoy the night, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Enjoying the experience. Well, that's definitely a good thing. The
Yeah.
holidays are right around the corner. I am smashing coffee this afternoon because we had Thanksgiving lunch at my work today, and I even knew like it gets me every time. Like I'm sleeping on Thanksgiving Day by like 3 p.m. because it just hits me in that way. So I made a tiny plate. So like I got stuff to do today. I can't like indulge in the full Thanksgiving meal, and it still has me dragging. So I'm trying to like elevate the energy levels with some coffee. But I'm ready for the holidays. Keep that in mind because we're gonna. I'm telling you that for a reason. We're gonna circle back to the whole Thanksgiving thing. But the Thunder are 14-1, and it's kind of crazy because I think the Denver Nuggets are a really good basketball team, and I think we're going to have like a fun matchup at some point with OKC and Denver. But it seems like the entire NBA watching world is already just saying the Thunder are miles better than everybody else. And I do think they're the best team, but the only team I don't think they're miles better than is the Denver Nuggets. I think that's the one team right now, if you made me have to bet on this, that I think could give the Thunder a run for their money.
That's definitely that team that can kind of be their kryptonite. I think that if you give in a 7 game series, it's going to go 7 games. I feel like that, honestly. It's just Denver, like they already got the championship pedigree, but now OKC has that too. So that's gonna make. I hope it turns into kind of like a little rival from now, like for the next few years, when you get to see Jamal and Shea and Jokic and Chet and all those guys just matching up. But overall, like how it's looking now, the edge is with OKC goes to OKC just because like I always say, I said last episode, the depth, man, it's ridiculous. Like I said, everybody's Michael Jordan in their role right now. So as long as that's the case, it's gonna be tough for anybody to get them a run for their money, especially in a playoff series where they already know what it takes to win.
When you are playing a team that's rolling the way the Thunder are rolling, like how do, and I'm not just saying you specifically, but you having played in the league and been around lots of different teams and lots of different teammates and different locker room personalities, like what is the general perception of when a team you're about to face a team like OKC that's just mowing through everybody? Is everybody like really getting up for that, or I mean, are you like embracing that challenge, or with when you're playing 82 games, is it one of those things like, all right, let's get through this and then we'll, face the next one? Like, what is the approach when a team is just running through everyone the way the Thunder are?
It's actually like this is actually more dangerous than actually going on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak or like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. Because now it's like we've seen it all. And the only thing that can stop the run and stop how they're rolling and how well they're playing is complacency. And I've seen that. We've seen that every year. Like, Golden State, like talking to Steph and them that year they won 73 games. Like, I'm like, how did y'all deal with like 25, 26 game win streaks? Like, it's
It's
hard to like,
insane.
you look down and you might have three of the bottom of the teams in the East and you on a 24 game win streak. Like, you probably sleep a little differently. You might let some stuff slide that you wouldn't necessarily let slide early in the season. And that's kind of human nature, but we'll see because I mean it's a long season, it's 82 games. And their storm that may come may not look like Orlando Storm, who I really like by the way. But a 6 or 7 game losing streak with them, it's not going to happen like 6 or 7 games. OKC go on that kind of losing streak. But 2 games that with the media, it could turn into something like they may have to deal with that. But complacency is number one. That's the only thing. Everything else they do everything so well. God forbid an injury, but barring that, just getting too comfortable, and then you might let a couple slip, and now you got to get yourself back on the right track.
From an opponent standpoint, you're seeing the Thunder and you're about to play this Thunder team. What's the thought process in that regard in terms of, this team again is rolling, mowing through everybody. Is do you approach a team like that any differently than you would any other game? If you're the opponent facing the Thunder?
From like a strategy standpoint, like how to guard them, or what
Strategy,
take.
mentality, like from any aspect.
Well, I think mentality wise, it's the league. So every team, they know that they have a target on their back every time they walk into any arena. So I think every team mentally is like we gotta beat them. We gotta give them a run for their money. We can't you can't go down here and lay down. So, but from a strategy standpoint, if you got to see those guys, I mean, aside from, of course, you gotta play at a different level when you play against those guys from an energy standpoint, because it's a war of attrition, of course, and they have 5 or 6 guys that come off the bench and be effective. Whereas an opponent team, you really don't have more than like 2 guys that can be effective like that. Other guys are filling in some roles here and there. But I don't know. I would like to see teams kind of look more like a matchup zone, because guarding them one on one with Shea and those guys. And then you got Chet, who's a better passer than I think people give him credit for. I might just be saying we just watched him here in Charlotte. I was at the game, so um, matchup zone, because I want to see who can, other than Kaysen. It's a lot of guys that's like shot makers. Kaysen can get hot and maybe give you 30 if you let him get hot from behind the arc. So matchup zone is what I'd be thinking if I was some of these coaches and scouts.
You mentioned Chet, and he missed a big chunk of last season. Came back at the end of the year, and I know they were trying to like find the rhythm with playing the two bigs at the same time, and he played well in the postseason. I'm not at all suggesting that he didn't, because without him, they don't win the championship. But I
Yeah.
feel like when you look back at the playoff run and just look at, I guess, just his overall athleticism and things of that nature, he looks like he's just much healthier to start this season than he was even coming back after the long injury. I feel like physically he just looks like he can move better, like he's more agile. I don't know if that's just getting healthy or that's having rest or what that is, but he just seems athletically like he's on a completely different level than he was throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and I got to see him in person, and I think he had about 23, 25, 8, 9 rebounds, but he made it look really easy. Charlotte didn't do him in, well, they did him a lot of favors, but I mean, he made it look really easy with how he's playing. Like Chet was one of those guys when he came in the league. I was like, every time he hits the floor, I'm like, damn, I hope he's not hurt. Or, if he comes down funny, it's kind of like you get that feeling in your stomach, like, damn. And then he started getting those little injuries. Now he don't look like that. Like he's still gonna always be wiry, lanky guy out there, but he's strong as hell. People not really, they don't know how strong he really is, and you can tell by how he playing. It's more conviction in this game. He getting to his spots. He's a matchup problem every night, damn near every night a matchup problem. But he's looking quicker. He's looking more sturdy. You can actually go through him in the offense without worrying about him, getting pushed around. So I think that's what he made his leap, just with his strength. Like everything else, the skill has always been there. Like he's a unique skill guy for that size and at that kind of athleticism. But I still want to see him still take that leap, that next step defensively in terms of rim protection, because that's why I think it could be a real problem. When Serge was in his prime with us, they try to put him in a pick and roll. He can move his feet, and you try to get over him, he's blocking it. So I think I want to see Chet take that next step defensively. Like he's fine defensively now, but when it's like, okay, maybe second team all defense or something like that, he could do that. He average 3 or 4 blocks a game. But I like where he's going. I like his trajectory right now. He'll star.
I saw somebody on Twitter yesterday. It was one of the national media guys saying this is the best defensive team in NBA history. Where do you fall into that argument? I'm not saying you have to like declare them, but are they good enough to at least be in that conversation?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see it for a few more years. Like those Spurs teams back in the day was like they'll suffocate you with Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and then Bruce Bowen, those guys. And then I don't want to go all the way back, but like even though it's a different brand of basketball, the 80s, Knicks, the Pistons, the Celtics. Um, so I mean, I just need to see it for another maybe 2 or 3 years. If they defend like this for the next 3 or 4 years and really get that reputation consistently like that,
Yeah.
then yeah. I don't see any holes in their defense just because I feel like they have like a unique combination of length on the perimeter and then athleticism on the wings. It's just the way the team is composed, it's hard to find somebody to just go at every time where it's gonna break their defense down.
Yeah.
So if they can keep that up, that's yeah, for 2, 3 years, we might be talking about that for real.
Well, to do that, you have to avoid complacency, which you mentioned earlier. I think the greatest part of that not necessarily being a factor has got to be, once again, going back to something we already talked about, the depth. If you don't have a lot of depth and you become reliant on just a few guys, I can see how maybe complacency sets in with maybe the rest of the team. But because you have so much competitive depth on this team, everybody's fighting for an opportunity to actually get minutes, to make a name for themselves beyond just being like, the guy that does this role for the Thunder. To me, that on top of the fact that your best player is insanely competitive on a daily basis, sort of keeps you from maybe falling into those traps.
Yeah, definitely. I think that yeah, because now you got some guy, you still got Jay Will out. I think AJ had got an injury. So some of these dudes, like when everybody's healthy, I don't know what my minutes are going to be. Those guys gonna bring it every day in practice, every game. So when you got the sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth guy fighting for that time, I think that's what's keeping them competitive. And like you said, on top of the best player being the most competitive guy and the leader, that's their leader. So we'll see. I just think that they defensively, if they keep that up, though, that's not as hot of a take as people might think that they're the greatest defensive team in the history. But I mean, it's a good conversation to have, though. But yeah, they can. I think they can get in that conversation for sure. They keep going.
Yeah. I was asked to ask you this question from a friend of mine who's a big basketball shoe guy. What is the greatest basketball shoe of all time? And there's two parts to this. One is what is the greatest basketball shoe of all time to wear while playing basketball, and the other one is what's the greatest basketball shoe of all time to wear on an everyday basis.
That's a great question. To actually hoop in, that's tough because I like for me, um, the Hirachi 2K4s. Remember they came out with the black. He'll know what I'm talking about. To play
Oh
in,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah,
It's like you don't even have any. It's like you walking on air. Like I'm not the fastest guy in the world, never been. But they kept my feet pretty light. And then they came out with another version of that later, like my rookie year, and those were very, very, very comfortable. Like I couldn't really play in Jordans and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like I played I played in all of them, but the ones I really like to the 11s and the 10s. But it's just that you can't wear them for more than like 3 or 4 games. So like, cause they start getting loose on that. That's how you
Yeah.
turn your or something like that. Um, yeah, those some Penny Hardaways, like the very first Penny Hardaways,
Oh yeah.
but not the very first ones.
Yeah.
I played in those for. I think I was with the Thunder when I played in those. They stood up for a while though. Off the court shoes, sneakers. I know this is not like traditional what people might think, but the Nike Yeezys.
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
the black ones, the white ones, and I had the red Octobers. And I know I'm only called because he calls them sneakers. You can actually hoop in those, but I'm not gonna. I would never do that. But yeah, I give it that.
Okay.
Those my yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, let's have some fun before we get out of here. So I mentioned Thanksgiving before at the beginning of the show. Next week we are at Thanksgiving week of the NBA season. So I will pose this question to you: if you're going to make a Thanksgiving plate, all the items on your plate have to be equated to a Thunder player. So we will start with turkey. Of the Oklahoma City Thunder players, who is the turkey that goes on your plate on Thanksgiving?
All right, so look, my family, right? We usually have two turkeys.
Okay.
Uncles and my dad, like we'll fry turkey.
Oh
Then
yeah.
you have additional turkey. So it's gonna be two turkeys on my plate.
Okay.
All right, so for the normal turkey, I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna give that to J Dub. I'm gonna give that to Jalen.
Okay. J Dub, the normal turkey.
Fried turkey is Shay.
Okay.
Got a little more, a little more like spice to him, a little more pizzazz to
Little
him,
sizzle.
a sizzle to him. I'm gonna give him that.
Are
Which
you
one
are
next?
you do you guys do ham as well, or are you just strictly the two turkeys?
We do ham.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I don't eat ham, but yeah, it's definitely we got the pineapple on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Who you got for the dressing?
The dressing, that's Lou Dort. Yeah, because you see, like the dressing goes with everything, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Oh
The
yeah. Oh
stuff,
yeah.
and that's how he bringing everything. It's not all flashy all the time, but it works well with the other items on the plate. So he always reliable. You're gonna see dressing third, you'll see it Thanksgiving, and you're gonna see it Christmas. He always reliable. You know what I'm saying? You can't really
That's right.
mess it up. You can't really overcook it. If you mess dressing up, you should never be in the kitchen again. Don't ever cook again while I'm there. So it's not hard, it's always reliable. So yeah, lose the stuff, dressing.
All right. I like that. What do you got for potatoes?
Potatoes. Do we eat potatoes?
Mashed
Let me see.
potatoes,
All right, mashed
or
potatoes.
any kind of. I mean, like my family does several different types of potatoes actually. So depending
Okay.
on like how you do it.
All right, I say mashed potatoes. It's reliable. Um, that might have to be casing.
Okay. Kind of
Always,
similar to dressing for some of the same reasons as dressing.
yeah, kind of somebody, yeah. But you can't have Thanksgiving without dressing. That's how I feel about Luke.
Yeah, no
Like you
doubt.
might not want too many carbs, so you may or may not have mashed potatoes. You may have like macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my next one, and you just said it. This always inspires debate for some reason because I guess there are people in this world that don't have mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, which I think is absolutely wild. But I've had mac and cheese on my Thanksgiving table since I was like a kid. So I'm throwing this in there. You may disagree. Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese for sure on my plate. That's like one of the first or second items.
No doubt.
Let me see who's I got a special one for Chet too.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna have to go. I gotta go Big Zay, man.
All right.
Isaiah. I'm going Zay for mac and cheese. It makes everything on the plate better. You think about the yams, when the sauce from the yams get on the mac and cheese. Come on, bro. That's it. That Thanksgiving starts right there. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Then you
yeah. Oh,
mix it.
yeah.
Crazy, bro. I can't wait. Man, I can't wait.
Except
I
for
think
those
it's
psychopaths that like to separate their food and none of it touch.
yeah, that's weird.
That's definitely weird. All right, you mentioned it, yams. What do you got for yams?
I got AJ.
Okay.
Part of me, he got to get something cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I give him that because, like we mentioned, anything the yams get on, that item on the plate is gonna taste better. I don't care if it's the turkey, the fried, or the regular, or the mac and cheese, the collard greens. everything tastes better. You know what I'm saying? So I think AJ in his role, he can start, he come off the bench. He's gonna be effective with the second unit or the first unit, making everybody around him better.
Oh yeah.
I had to kind of I had to give him that because the last one we did, I called him Storm. Hey, I need to holler at AJ, man.
This is the make good for AJ.
Yeah, yeah, I thought about that. I was like, yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Storm, but I'm like,
That's
man,
right.
people super mad at Black Panther. I ain't want to feel no kind of way.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right. What do you got for roles?
Reliable. Uh, I'm gonna get a rose to Isaiah. I'm gonna get a rose to Isaiah.
Okay.
It may not be the first thing you put on your plate, but like I said, once again, you can start mostly a secondary. You're not really thinking about it, but I think these two guys play well off the bench with Isaiah and AJ. And you know what happened when the Yams touched the rolls. See what I'm saying? So, like, they need both of those guys, man. It may not be the first things you put on your plate. We're going for the turkey, probably going for the stuffing, the dressing. But yeah, I got Isaiah for that. Alex, I'm gonna give Alex the ham.
Okay.
Yeah, Alex the ham, man. Cause it's important for sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's clutch. Big moments. You know what I'm saying? So like I may have to, I don't eat ham, but it depends on where you need them on the plate. You kind of gotta have ham on the plate. Even
Oh
if
yeah.
like your mom makes your plate, she gonna put ham on the plate.
No doubt.
And you have to. So
No
I
doubt.
gave now wig, she's running out of stuff to eat. Aaron's greens,
Okay.
for sure. It goes with anything, you know. Um, yeah, I gotta give them greens. Greens could be the third item you choose, or it could be like the sixth item you choose, but they're going on the plate.
It
And you
fits
gotta
no
have
matter, yeah, no matter where you get it. Yeah, it fits.
yep.
All right, cranberries.
Cranberry sauce. It's Chet, man.
There it is.
Coming, bro. Look, I'm gonna break that down.
All right, I'm ready for this one.
That is now it's definitely a necessity, but it's kind of a unique, like Thanksgiving. You don't think about it first. You think about it though, but it's unique, like Chet. Like I call him, he's a unique athlete, with his athleticism, his size, his ability to be, he's he's so versatile. You know, we can get the cranberry sauce. It don't matter what you do with that. You can put it next to anything else. Like again, it's gonna make it that much better. And it's different because it's really sweet on the plate. So like it's different. It's different than the dressing. It's different than the turkey and the ham. It's something that sets itself apart. It even looks different than the rest of the food.
Yeah.
No, they call what Chester unicorn, baby unicorn. It's different.
Are you going like the actual cranberry sauce? Or you going like the jar, the
No,
can
cranberry
that comes
sauce.
out looking like
The
the?
circular cranberry sauce that you have that's already made. Yeah, I gotta go there.
Okay. All right, and Jalen Williams.
You might be black eyed peas.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste, but I love black eyed peas. They sturdy, man. You can get full just off a bowl of black eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're getting. It's consistent. It may not be the flashiest. It ain't the cranberry sauce. It's not the mac and cheese, but it's sturdy.
There we
And that's
go.
how this game. He's solid. He coming in real steady.
Yeah, and they're
Man, look,
supposed to bring you good luck, right?
I didn't know that, but. I
I've
guess.
always heard that about Black Eyed Peas, that they're supposed to be like lucky or something like that. But and he
I'm gonna
he
have to
kind of is the guy that like brings everybody up personality wise.
Yeah, he always smiling, man.
Yeah,
Every time they
yeah,
get the play of the game and all the guys, I love when they do that. All the guys gather around whoever's getting interviewed, whether it's Shay or Chet or whatever. He always got the smile on his face, man. You need that.
yeah,
You need that. We're gonna call Jake. Yeah, he's good luck and he real reliable. He's sturdy.
yeah. He's one of those guys. They re-signed him this offseason, and he may not be a guy that gets a ton of minutes. And I'm not downplaying his basketball skills by any means, because I think he is a good player. He's really worked on his game. His 3-point shot has gotten better and better. He lost a lot of weight this offseason. He's trying to just, I think, make himself a more athletic body on the floor. But like, again, not downplaying his basketball abilities, but his greatest asset, I think, is his personality and what he brings to that locker room, and just, I think, the presence that he is and what that does to the other 11, 12, 13, whatever guys.
You definitely need guys like that. I tried to be that as much as I could when I was in Oklahoma City. And any team, for real. Because it's a long season, man. And it gets when it you go through those dog days, man. You kind of need somebody in the locker room that's going at least pick everybody up or the energy up. You go through a 4-game losing streak. It's right before All-Star break, so everybody's kind of tired and trying to thinking towards All-Star. So it's hard to focus. Like those parts of the season, you need guys like Jay
Yeah.
Will in that locker.
Yeah. Good stuff, my man. I am, you know what? I'm ready for round 2 now. So I had my work Thanksgiving. I'm ready for next week.
Yeah,
Thank God the NBA doesn't play on Thanksgiving Day, right?
right, man. It's just football. I'm going to sleep after the first half of whatever game that is, because by then, see, I don't go and get 3 and 4 plates. Like I get one plate and it's up to here.
There we go.
And at one time, y'all are not after that. I'm on the couch. Whoever's playing, Detroit usually plays every Thursday. I mean, every Thanksgiving or
That's
something like
right.
that, right? By halftime of that Detroit game, I'm asleep,
Yeah.
and nobody can wake me up.
Well, I'm a Cowboys fan, and by halftime of the Cowboys game, I'm usually asleep because they're getting killed and I'm stuffed, and it's
Who
a
do y'all
perfect
play?
marriage on Thanksgiving Day.
Who do y'all play on
Kansas City.
Thanksgiving? Y'all might be all right though, man.
We'll see.
Oh
We'll
yeah, 'cause
see.
y'all got the Eagles coming up,
Yeah.
the Chiefs,
Eagles and the Chiefs. Yeah.
and maybe the Bills or something like that. No, y'all got it's somebody. I might not be the Bills.
Listen,
It's like
man. Much like the Thunder, I'm taking it one game at a time. So.
one day at a time. That's all we do, brother. I'm a Panthers fan. We don't know. Thank God we don't play on Thanksgiving. I'm saying,
I'm just taking stock of the fact that they're 1-0 since Quinn Williams became part of the team. So that's
yeah, man,
where I'm at.
you know it. You know it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, my man. Good stuff this week. We will do it again next week, time permitting, with the holidays and everything. But 14-1, they play the Sacramento Kings tonight, and we'll see where they are at this time next week.
Absolutely. Can't wait, brother.